The dream is real. Yeah. Can I get a standing ovation for the authentic voice of culture? We are TKBS and I'm hoarse. I am. I'm trying. I came on here for y'all. This ain't for me, this for y'all. Because over the weekend, I was getting it. I was riding that. Never mind. I only had sex once. Thursday, I was so tired the rest of the weekend because I worked off. Jessica's gonna be mad at me. Everybody calm down. TKBS, how are you? You good? Huh? Did you have a good weekend? Did you have more sex than me? Hope you did. Let me stop while I'm ahead. Okay, cool. I'm amazing. I had a great time in New Orleans, seeing my family and friends. As I told y'all many times here on the Kenny Burns Show, Essence is the biggest, blackest, most beautiful family reunion in the world. People you don't see all year, you get to see there. You get to bring your families. I've never seen a movement like this in my life where generationally you can show up together and have this time. And it takes place in one of my favorite cities in the world, New Orleans, baby. And we got a love affair. It's deep. This is getting very sexual very fast. I did not mean to start the show off like this, but New Orleans, I love you. And every time we link, it is amazing. I want to start the weekend off by telling y'all I went to Larry Morrow's new concept, Spicy Mango. First of all, he had a ribbon cutting ceremony with his beautiful fiance and their beautiful baby, Go-Go. I love you, niece of mine. And she actually put her feet in grass for the first time at Loveland. Fun fact, little family fun fact. But I'm just so proud of my little brother, man. This man, I think it's his 7th concept, 5 restaurants and 2 clubs. Round of applause for Larry Morrow. And yeah, the food did not disappoint. Now, all of his locations have a fusion vibe. You know what I'm talking about? And this is like Caribbean meets New Orleans. Everything is something like Song Chong is Korean, the heritage of his grandmother with New Orleans. And I had a spicy mango jerk burger. Lord have mercy. It tastes like Jesus made it, swear for God. I had the yuca fries like a root. It's like cut it like a French fry that thing. Then I had the Mexican salad. Have you ever had a Mexican salad? I think they call it the Mexican street salad, if I'm not wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, imagine fresh pineapple, fresh mango, tahini. You know, Tiffany always be talking about, you need to put tahini on it. I'm like, Tiff, why would I put tahini on the Twinkie? That's not gonna go. Tahini on everything. But I actually had the chipotle drizzle, you know what I'm talking about, on that thing too. And when I tell you the food was 10 out of 10, round of applause, Spicy Mango. Get that jerk burger. Jessica had the fish, just amazing food there. Of course, I had to go to Song Chong. Every time I go to New Orleans, I gotta have Korean beef bacos, Tiff, that I always rave about. I had to have those with my fried rice. You know what I'm talking about? And even my sister Robin and Jess went over to Morrow's. You know what I'm talking about? Get them fried oysters, you know what I'm saying? All the amazingness that his establishments provide. So Larry, I am proud of you. Keep doing your thing, boy. The dream is real. And also, ladies and gentlemen, the Four Seasons. Yeah, I stay there every time I go. And they didn't give me nothing free. Wish they did, but I want to give them props. The customer service at the Four Seasons New Orleans is next level. These folks cater to you upon your arrival. You come in, sending me all the things, get to the room. They had these Essence chocolate, like records, actually. The album cover with the record. This is the 31st anniversary of the festival, but it's the 55th anniversary of Essence. So they had an album, 55 on it. And just the customer service was amazing. Miss River is a restaurant inside the Four Seasons. They're unbelievable food. They bring out a chicken like a turkey. Okay, it's not for one person. But I order it every time for me. And it just seems like it goes every time I buy it. I don't eat it all, but the people that you end up seeing, I tell you, it's a family reunion. People go, hey, what's that? And sit down and eat your chicken. All right, but the rice and beans were amazing. And the French fries got to be top tier in the world. Yeah, I ain't lying, Tiff. I'm talking about some next level French fry mania going on at Miss River. So thank you to the entire staff at the Four Seasons. I appreciate you. You make my stay really feel like home. But Thursday night, y'all, I'm gonna start with, because y'all been asking about my fit check. Okay, I don't know. It was the story. I only posted in the stories about what the actual outfits were. I had other people in the comments saying, well, when you gonna tell us? I said it in the goddamn stories. I don't know. Hello? Go to the stories too. All right, but here it is. Thursday night, kicked off club quarantine in an M-line black workman outfit. Big shout out to James and my M-line family. You know that material, Prada material? He made the whole suit out of that. And on Friday, y'all, we had a silky smooth lineup, so I wanted to have that thing on. You know what I'm talking about? I had the silk black Balenciaga pajamas with the lizard Saint Laurent boot. I'm talking about, where you got some lizard at in your closet? You know what I'm talking about? Lizard print. I know alligator and a lizard. My tongue just went out and came back. It was that quick, you didn't even see it. Yeah, and it was a vibe. I'm talking about Babyface Destroyed. I'm gonna talk about that momentarily. Maxwell. You know what I'm talking about? That was the Isley Brothers. And then they had Lauryn Hill. And I'm getting to why she's the GOAT in a minute. But then they had Yeah Glow. Yeah, Glow. It didn't fit on the bill. It's all good. They're trying to get some. We don't know what they're doing. We're gonna figure it out and talk about it though. But ladies and gentlemen, Saturday night, I had that Balenciaga on. Yeah, again, the tracksuit. I don't know why my body's moving like this. I had the tracksuit on with the studded jacket, studded t-shirt, studded sweatpants. And then I had the Balenciagas on, the shoes, and they were amazing and comfortable, actually. And I've mentioned before here on the show that Kenny and Kyle have taken all my Balenciaga pairs, and I didn't mind because they were heavy. And I ain't like all that weight on my feet. You know what I'm talking about? But these were actually really comfortable, and I'm glad I did, because my pinky toe was mad Friday night with that lizard, that Saint Laurent lizard. That's why that silky had me feeling like. But Sunday night, I had to represent the home team. My brother James did it again. He custom made me an M-line denim fit, yes. A New Orleans tuxedo. You know, the Canadian tuxedo is what they normally call it, but this was a New Orleans tuxedo because it was M-line, you feel what I'm saying? The man had the custom patches, TKBS on it. The dream is real, the lifestyle specialist. And he enlisted our brother Jaron Jerk to paint me this custom moment on the back. And it was beautiful. It was a work of art. And I actually got so much love on that outfit that they posted that on Essence, but didn't post me as the host all weekend long when I was fresh as hell. But we won't blame your heart. All right, now it's time for episode 143, The Essence. This episode was inspired by the essence of us, the way we show up and how we support each other or are supposed to. And what I'm seeing in the media does not represent that. Let me first give you the definition of essence, the intrinsic nature or indispensable quality of something, especially something abstract that determines its character. Now, let's start with the narrative that essence is failing and there was nobody there. That is false. I was the host all weekend long and there were tens of thousands of people in attendance every single night. Now, I'm your man. You depend on me to impact, inspire, and influence, right? You depend on my word because I'm not changing the truth for nobody.
Nobody, buddy.
Nobody.
You come here for the truth. You come here for the answers, and I'm going to give them to you. There were hiccups in the production. There were hiccups in the flow of the show. For instance, Friday night, there was no way around starting an hour late, you know, because of technical production issues with the group Siren, right? And that sent a ripple effect throughout the whole evening. You know, and I want to give Lauryn Hill her props. This particular thing was not about her. She was not late. The production caused her to go on late. And when you saw the news clippings of all the empty seats when she was performing, had everything to do with it being 2-something in the morning. Yeah, it was 2-something in the morning and she stayed to perform for the amount of people in the arena. Now, on Friday also, you should know, and I've hosted the most attended Essence in Essence Festival history. At the beginning of the night, there were more people in their seats than there were the night it was the most historical attendance record breaker. Yes. So when people try to create this narrative like everybody comes early or everybody's supposed to be in their seats, every year it's like that. People slow walk. They know the bigger acts are coming later. It's just part of the game. But by the end of the night, that thing is rocking. It's packed, not even the end of the night, by the middle of the night, everybody's in their seat. You got to imagine too, it's an experience. People are there. They have lounges. They have VIP sections. Obviously, there's a whole village of backstage, you know what I'm saying? Like moments happening. You have a whole catering thing. You have all these suites in this Superdome that these companies purchase, and everybody's gathering and everybody is having a good time with each other. So I want to kill that rumor that Lauryn Hill was late. I did see news in New Orleans. I did see news sites abroad trying to say that there was nobody in the building. At that moment in time, yes, she had less of a crowd than the rest of the evening, but she was not late. She was on time. So I want to say that. And another thing you guys don't know, because half of you people with these opinions on the internet weren't even there. Maxwell almost didn't happen. When anything changes on a timeline or schedule with an event, then you're subject, you know what I'm saying, to lose an artist, especially a big artist that has something else to do. This man had to be in London. The private plane was waiting, and they worked it out with him so that he can stay, which he wanted to perform for his people in New Orleans. And you had no clue about that. So you had no clue to show grace, you know what I'm saying, to everything that was happening. But again, this is what we do. We run to the internet with these unnecessary, untrue clips. But we supposed to be the ones giving each other disinformation. We're supposed to be the ones not supporting a company that has been in business for 55 years, been doing the Essence Festival for 31 years. And oh, by the way, I don't want to go on any further without giving Babyface his entirety. You hear me? I wouldn't have wanted to go on if I was Maxwell or Lauryn Hill after what Babyface did. And today, I want you to take your time and go down the rabbit hole, the amazing wonderland of a rabbit hole that is Babyface and his songs. Ladies and gentlemen, my mind was blown. I'm talking about I'm Your Baby Tonight, Whitney Houston. End of the Road, Boys to Men. Don't Be Cruel, Bobby Brown. Ready or Not by After 7.
Don't you know, you should know.
Can We Talk by Tevin Campbell. That is a Essence Negro spiritual. This man got rock steady with the whispers. Rest in peace to the big homie. Breathe Again, Tony Braxton. This man has 1 million hits, and we sang them all. And Babyface today on the Kenny Burns Show. I want to give you your props, brother. You are a true national treasure. And in other news, ladies and gentlemen, I was disgusted by all the viral moments. I only saw, honestly, about 6 myself, but there were people talking about those 6 like it was unreal. The majority of them were nobodies saying things. And I mean nobodies because you all just want likes. You don't want to actually help your people. You don't actually want to see somebody win. You don't want to actually give people some information that could help them get better. You want to see them lose, and you ain't shit. And this dude who did this particular clip about Essence not winning because Africans are leading in programming and that they're not Black Americans, and because of that, that is why Essence is failing. And then this creep, he went on to say,
oh, and by the way, I remember going to Essence when Janet Jackson performed, and it was a whole vibe. I had the best time in my life.
I'm like, player, they owned them Africans you talking about. They owned Essence then. And to me, that's the most ignorant and irresponsible thing you could do, is speak on something you don't know and then contradict yourself in the middle of your rant. Because that's what it was. It wasn't based in fact. Are there nuances between Africans and Black African Americans? Absolutely. But to bridge the gap should be the goal. To understand should be the goal. There are things that everybody respects about everybody, and bridging that gap, we can make it whole. That's what we want to do. We don't want to shit on our brothers and sisters because of nuance. We want to give them information to make them better. And that's why I am dedicating this entire episode to breaking it down from the host and his perspective, because I was there every night. I've been on that Essence main stage since 2017. There's nothing you could tell me about this event where it's going to diminish what it could be. Now, the executives can diminish it. People not listening to the people can diminish it. But we're going to afford them every opportunity to get this right. There's no way that 31 years committed to a city like New Orleans, bringing millions of dollars in jobs by way of New Orleans, artists that come perform, executives. You have brands showing up at the convention center that get to showcase their products to their core customer. Ladies and gentlemen, this ain't no social media moment for most of these people. These people are 9 to 5ers that come to the Essence Festival to see their superheroes. And guess what? You might run into them because that's how engaging and involved it all is. That's how connected it all is. But you people want to make these false narratives and assumptions, and you weren't even there. And I feel in my heart, y'all, that a lot of this confusion started with Target and the comments made by some superheroes and diligent forces that are in culture and are spreading the narrative of what is happening and why we should be boycotting. But then you got to understand that Target has been a partner for multiple years with Essence. And that partnership adds to the millions of dollars that is going into the community, that are paying your peers, that are supporting this amazing event, and allows it to happen. And I do believe some of the people on the right side of history in their opinions. But do we actually have to say that we're not going somewhere this particular weekend and it's because of that? Or were you not booked? Or did you not get what you wanted out the situation? Protest can happen in many ways. Protest can also take a day off, right? Especially when it supports our own. And we have to discern, y'all. We can't keep going back and forth thinking that the things that we are doing are okay or progressive. No, it keeps us divided. A lot of you false prophets, that's people with a microphone that ain't saying shit, that don't live it. You're the problem. You're not really in culture. Without the algorithm or social media, you're not popular. You don't exist. And I want you to feel that in your soul because you're the problem. And I'm going to really get at you in As the World Turns with Kenny Burns today. And lastly, y'all, I want you to know there are some issues at Essence Fest, right? This year they changed over to a new audio team. There were some other nuances where there were some people that have been with the festival a long time that aren't there anymore. You wouldn't know that because you're not behind the scenes. And we're going to give them the grace to figure that out because after the weekend and throughout the weekend, they were trying to address the issues at hand in the Superdome. And they did. And they will make it better for next year. But you do not try to destroy a movement, a blessing, as Essence has been for the last 31 years. You don't try to destroy a company that gives back to a city that is impoverished. A city that has been devastated by hurricanes. A city so rich in culture that they open their arms and welcome us every year. This is a sacred place. And this is a sacred event. Now, I'm going to tell you, because I keep it 1,000. If the executives don't listen, that's one thing. But if they do, give them an opportunity to prove to you that they want to be the best version of themselves for you. They want to continue this amazing generational event that brings all of us together. I'm talking about generational. This ain't no one-off. Oh, and let's be clear about this too. There is a demo for Essence. It's 40 to 60. But guess what? The 20-somethings love that music. Focus on your core. Because if you want to go the route of making it young, you don't have no artists to fill that stadium. Not that are black and revel themselves in black culture, because the other side of that is Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, They are not Black culture. They make great music for their generation. Go to their concerts though, majority white. If you want to keep Black culture alive, Black music alive, if you go back 20 years, that's Chris Brown. That's Bobby Valentino. That's Lloyd. That's Pretty Ricky. That's B2K. I'm going to give them some skin in the game because they had great music and they're great performers. We have music generationally that sustains us for generations. And guess what? We ain't ready to let go of Stevie Wonder. He got to be on every Black stage that he could be on while we got him. Stephanie Mills was in the building. She did an open letter to them. It had everything to do with some nuanced stuff. Auntie, and this is from me to you. I saw you. I hugged you, told you how valuable you are to us. But she had some technical difficulties and decided to go to the internet. That's a phone call, Auntie. That's you saying it right there in the moment so the people can say what you said and go spread it versus us continually to put this out here like these people ain't got it right more than they got it wrong. But listen, this is for you executives too. If you're gonna continue to say gotta be young and you're gonna put Glorilla on the same night as Maxwell, Babyface, the Isley Brothers, Lauryn Hill, that's a miscommunication like I've never seen. You know better and you're gonna do better because we're gonna help you. But I wanna stop the madness, y'all. We are in a particular time where Essence couldn't afford to do things they normally do because of DEI. People are out of work, so if the hotels are only down 10%, that shows you the love and loyalty to the brand. Because the way that some of our pockets are shaping up, people can't move at all. So when we're thinking about these things, ladies and gentlemen, think about the nuance, the things you don't know. Instead of jumping on the bandwagon because you was disappointed in that moment, we gotta show grace. 31 years of dedication to a city and a people? You people that fly in town ain't the majority. Majority of people that come to the Essence Festival live in and around Louisiana. Get over yourself. We love us, or at least we're supposed to. We are made like this. At least I thought so. Let's really show up for our people, man. It's time to protect and equip our own, not to tear down and destroy. Protect and equipped. We have to. It's gone too far. And I'm pleading with you, honestly, because even in a scenario that the executives don't get it right and ignore you, right? Let's just say that's a scenario. Well, that's an opportunity for somebody else. But what you have to know is easily as that was torn down, yours could be too. Now, how do you feel about that sequence? So think. We all we got and we all we need, y'all. All right, now it's time for live from the comment sections. Tiffany, I missed you. Give me some of them comments. We need some love.
Yes, sir. And you know it's coming with lots of love. Since we are talking about Essence, let's kick it off with a few of the comments because you know Nation was up in there going crazy. Mm-hmm. Now, Melissa Brown Jim said, you all put in overtime last night, but a time was had. Great job as usual. Let's go day 2, because obviously this was right after day 1.
Listen, that was the one, child, where the mishap happened and it ended up being, they said they ain't leave that joint till like 3:45 in the morning. And I left. Y'all know me. I was tired and ready to go. And I heard that there was no introductions going to be made. Was it Maxwell? Yeah, it ended up being Maxwell because they had to move on because he had to go. Remember I told you the whole story just a minute ago. But yeah, so child, I was out of that thing. They called me, the production guy, Kyle. Big shout to Kyle. Kyle, I love you. He was my stage manager and he's just an awesome human. And he's been with me since 2018. Big shout to Kyle, but he texted me at 4 a.m. like we're just ending, Kenny. I know we got some more comments over there, Tiffany.
Yes, sir. And yeah, a time was clearly had because I'm only reading a few. When I say the comments were commenting, I'm going to need y'all to keep that up.
Amen. We love that feedback.
And of course, Lala Baby came through co-signing what you just said. And she said, KB, we had so much fun. Of course, you and D Nice killed it. And that was referring to CQ5 on Thursday.
Yes, Tony. CQ5 Thursday and Sunday was a stone cold groove. We're in the 5th year of Club Quarantine. So make sure if y'all see us come to your city, you come out. I'm talking about dance. I'm talking about fun. You know I'm going to bring that liquor out. If you ain't got no drink in your hand, so you be all right. You know what I'm talking about? This felt like a house party. So big shout to you, Lala, and all the CQ members that came out. We love you. Mwah. Jeff, give me some more comments.
And of course, you know, keeping in the love with Essence Fest, Jonah just sold it, said, you have the best job. I've witnessed you in action a time, 2 or 3 with the dancing emoji.
Listen, child, I was intentional, this Essence. You know, I wanted to show y'all my hosting ability. Friday night I hosted with Jordan Childs, the Olympian. She's a beautiful little ball of energy, and was teaching her the game in real time. And I had the pleasure to do Saturday night with Anthony Anderson. By the way, he bought his own co-host. Big shout out to Chris Spencer. Yeah, whoever was there saw Chris. He wasn't supposed to be there. Anthony just brought him. Yeah, so I was up there with two comedians, had to be funny, and I think I held my own, just like that one year with Tiffany Haddish. Yeah, try me if you want to, huh? I'm gonna find a joke. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do. Did you see Anthony Anderson stand on his head and twerk? That show you how good of a job I was doing. He felt he had to show his ass, literally. All right, Tiffany, any more comments?
Yes, sir. First of all, you was childish. Yes, sir. Now we gonna shift gears and go to last week's episode, because you already know the comments was commenting on that, because you were giving out nothing but gems.
Thank you.
And one of the things that everyone was commenting on was your idea that the Black community should come together behind one candidate. Mm-hmm. So much so, Kaleon163G said that's actually how we won Atlanta. We went in the back room and came out united under one candidate and pulled all our votes and resources, and Maynard Jackson was elected as mayor.
Listen, it's time to do it, y'all. And you can see even the way that the internet is set up, this algorithm, you know what I mean? This politics thing, I really think the last election was stolen. I mean, as far as the presidency is concerned, and even when Stacey Abrams ran for office, you know what I'm saying? Like, she galvanized so many new voters, and that's a hard thing to do. So y'all, if we can just pull together not only our bandwidth, you know what I'm saying, as far as knowledge access, you know what I'm saying, in relationships, but monetarily. I mean, what did Kamala raise? Over $1 billion? How you raise over $1 billion and lose anything? You know what I'm talking about? And matter of fact, with the money, I know, did they spend all of it on the campaign? I know we got some more comments over there, Tim.
I'm not going to play with you today. And of course, keeping it theme with dropping gems, this one is going whenever you gave your feedback on the way AI is tainting artistry. Miss Jai 412 said, this is weird, and all of these rules around art is going to taint the artistry.
Listen, it's already tainted. You hear me? Look at the music. There's no way we are in this position that we're in. And being outside, Tiff, I don't know if it's just me, but these babies look like zombies. These kids, how they moving around. And then what is this hoodie in the summer shit? It's 200 degrees in the South. You got a hood on your head. That's got to be a mental something. Okay, I know we got some more comments over there.
Look, I'm going to keep my comment to myself, because I do be wearing sweatshirts in the summer sometimes with shorts. But anyway, moving on to our next comment. Shamir Ladon actually had an amazing take, but it wasn't about the episode. This one's actually talking about your appearance on the Blackout, discussing the Diddy trial.
Right.
She said, I enjoyed your take on the Blackout last night. Thank you for keeping the main thing, and that is accountability and responsibility in Black culture. I think that's what many people in this trial and in real life missed. I know no one likes to talk about how wrong domestic violence is now because it's politically incorrect, but I appreciate your engagement in the topic and being consistent. And I'm so glad you're from DC, Southeast 20032, native over here. Good job.
Yeah, home team, I appreciate that. I really am intentional about the way I show up. I want to set the table. Puff and I were never friends like that. We've had beef since college, off and on. And the only reason I ever did business with him was because of Andre Harrell. I did look up to him growing up. I did pattern a lot of my early moves after, him. And I always give him his props for what he did for culture, opening doors for people like myself, giving so many executives, Black executives, well-paying jobs. But I'm going to keep it 100. I can change like that if I see you abuse a woman like you did, Cassie. I can change like that. You know what I'm saying? If there's some things that you choose to do with your personal lifestyle that I don't agree with, it's my choice. And big shout out to Rashad Bilal and Ian Dunlap for having that conversation, man. I think they'd like to bring OG in every once in a while to be that truth teller. And they're truth tellers as well. I love their platform. Ian is wild as shit sometimes because he be ready to turn all the way up with his glasses on. So big shout out to my brothers. Keep doing your thing. And wait, thanks, Sister Dear from DC. You just reminded me to add something to the show. You ain't even know. Accountability is the word, y'all. And I was watching Stacey Abrams with Anthony Anderson on Late Night with Jimmy Kimmel, and she broke down, it was the 10 steps for autocracy, and we're clearly in the middle of it. Tiffany, play that clip.
Over the weekend, you went viral for laying out 10 steps to autocracy. Run us through those steps so we all know.
Okay, so this happens in every nation that has become an autocracy, having been a democracy. So whether we're talking about Brazil with Bolsonaro, or India, or Putin and Russia, the Philippines with Duterte. So start with winning an election. Usually the last one you're going to get to have for real. Number two, you have an expansion of executive power. The president decides he wants more than he's supposed to have. Number three, you start to make the Congress complicit. So you weaken them and you neutralize or neuter the judiciary. Like, I don't know, the Supreme Court giving you unfettered power and saying we don't have the ability to stop things. Then you move on to firing all of the people who know how to make government work. So you gut the civil service. And you do that because you want to break democracy so people forget the stuff that used to get done. So you can't get your Social Security check. So the CDC doesn't know what diseases are anymore. Then you put in place these loyalists, these people who are only responsive to you. You put them in charge of the FBI so they go after your enemies. You put them in charge of the Department of Justice, the Department of Defense, so they can signal to their friends and tell them all about the evil plans that you have. Then you make certain that you break how we communicate. So you criticize the media and you create your own echo chamber of propaganda. You call it truth even though you know you're lying. Then you go to the next step, and I call that step 7. Because at step 7, you have to blame someone. You have to blame people for the broken government, for the broken promises. So you go after DEI. You go after the vulnerable, the dispossessed. You go after any community that doesn't look like what you think power should be. While you're doing that, you make certain that you, in step 8, you eliminate anybody who can help them. So you sue law firms that do pro bono cases. You go after philanthropies and accuse them of giving money to the wrong people. You go after colleges and universities that can teach people possibly what else they should know. You get to step 9 and you start to encourage and incentivize private violence. You send the US Marines into spaces they should not be. You send the National Guard in. You kidnap people off of the streets and pretend that's normal, because that's how you quiet dissent, because you make everyone afraid that if they don't do what you want, they might be next. And once you've done those 9 steps, step 10 is easy. That's when you decide there won't be new elections, because everyone's either afraid, poor, broken, or complicit.
Okay. Wow. Well, while you have the ear of the people right now and on their television sets, what is it that they can do to help avoid this and make a change in this?
Thank you. So I want to give credit to Kim Sheppel, who is a professor at Princeton. She came up with the framework. I've adapted it and potentially editorialized it more than she did. But I also want to give credit to the Robert F. Kennedy Foundation, not the lesser successor, but the real guy. We can fight back. We can remember that we do have power. They don't want dissent, so protest. They want us to forget that before we had power, we had each other. So when they break democracy, when they break the Social Security system, when they slash SNAP benefits and Medicaid, make sure you're checking on your neighbors. Make sure we're using mutual aid. But also tell the truth. Do not let the propaganda win. Too often they tell a lie. They will tell a lie so often it sounds like the truth. We say the truth one time, and when people don't applaud, we stop talking. We've got to keep telling the truth, not only to push back against them, but to remind us that we are entitled to the truth. We have to believe that freedom of assembly means it's more than just going to protest. It's the ability to be friends with people who aren't like you. And we have to stop believing that we are in this alone. The most effective thing they do is isolate us. They convince us that you and I don't have any common cause, and we certainly don't have common cause with someone who has a different history than we do. When we hold to our truth, when we actually believe in ourselves and our people, when we believe in democracy as something that must deliver, that's when we start to fight back. And that's when they lose, because they win when we are too numb or too afraid to act.
Child, I'm trying to tell them. We in it, Tiff.
Facts. Like the very fact that we're already at step 9. And the wild part is that that is something that you, I, Miss Elise, and Michelangelo talked about a year ago when we first heard about Project 25. Like, the very fact that we're this close is so disheartening and honestly frightening. But the great thing about it is that we still can do something. Like, I think that's what people miss with whenever you're getting this type of information, is the fear takes over first. But this is where we do what you always say, and that's do something.
Yeah, and be afraid. Be very afraid, but do something about it. Because if you don't do something about it now, their plan will work.
Amen.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, now it's time for As the World Turns with Kenny Burns. Hate is the new love. That's right. It's amazing how the word hate comes with so much emotion and passion these days. I mean, people go into a jealous rage with such intention and detail. It's alarming. And the algorithm, aka the fallen angel from God's choir, can't wait to amplify it. And y'all say it ain't the music. Don't let that go over your head now.
Facts.
But ladies and gentlemen, I refuse to believe that the worst of us is the best of us. I refuse to believe that we aren't worth saving. We are the essence, and we all we got. And just like that old lady said in that hot sauce commercial, I put that shit on everything.
Amen.
Now go out there and be great, ladies and gentlemen. Tell everyone you know to like, share, and comment. We love you in real life. And guess what? New Orleans, we got a thing going on. I'll be back soon, swear to God. On God. The dream is real. My voice is gone. Get me out of here. The dream is real.